Pretty Woman proved it was far more than a simple romantic comedy. The film stood out because of its honest, natural moments that made its characters feel authentic. A spontaneous joke brought a human touch to the lead's connection, creating a scene that felt genuine rather than performed. It demonstrated that the most lasting magic in cinema often comes from moments that were never planned. Comedy can be especially powerful when the discomfort is real. While humor usually depends on timing, delivery, and mild awkwardness, true physical discomfort is rarely genuine. In The 40-Year-Old Virgin, one of the movie's funniest scenes didn't originate from the script. Instead, it came from a real situation that left the cast and crew laughing while cringing behind the scenes. In the now iconic chest waxing sequence, Steve Carell didn't rely on camera tricks or makeup effects. The waxing was completely real and happened on camera. Director Judd Apatow wanted authentic reactions and suggested the idea to Carell, who agreed without fully knowing what he was in for. What followed was a combination of real pain, improvised reactions, and pure comedic brilliance. 5 cameras were positioned to capture the moment from every angle because there would be no second chance. Carell didn't fully realize how painful the experience would be, and that uncertainty made his reactions unforgettable. His cries, physical jolts, and the now famous shout of "Kelly, Kelly Clarkson" were entirely genuine. The actors nearby struggled to maintain their composure, with some turning away to hide their laughter. More than just a funny moment, the scene highlighted Carell's commitment to comedy. By enduring real pain, he elevated what could have been a simple joke into one of the most memorable examples of physical comedy in modern film. Audiences didn't only laugh, they felt the discomfort alongside him. That realism added emotional weight and helped define the film's awkward, raw, and deeply human tone. Some laughter becomes cinematic history. Many legendary scenes aren't carefully choreographed but instead emerge unexpectedly. One of the best examples appears in The Usual Suspects, where a serious police lineup scene became unforgettable simply because the actors couldn't stop laughing. The original plan was straightforward. The characters were meant to deliver their lines with complete seriousness, reinforcing the tension of the moment. However, once filming began, something went wrong. An actor made a mistake or noise, and the rest couldn't contain their laughter. Rather than stopping the scene, director Bryan Singer allowed it to continue, unintentionally capturing a once-in-a-lifetime moment. What makes the scene so memorable is its authenticity. The smirks, glances, and quiet chuckles weren't rehearsed. They were real. That shared laughter transformed the scene, adding warmth and personality instead of presenting the characters as cold, intimidating criminals. It revealed their chemistry and bond in a way no script could have anticipated. Singer later admitted that achieving a completely serious take was nearly impossible because someone always broke character. Eventually, he chose to embrace the chaos. That decision paid off, resulting in one of the film's most iconic moments and proving that trusting actors can lead to unexpected brilliance. Some lines become legendary not because they were written to be, but because they carry meaning far beyond the screen. A powerful example appears in Spartacus, during a moment that turned a scripted scene into an enduring symbol of unity and defiance. In the film's climax, Roman soldiers demand that Spartacus be identified. As the hero prepares to stand and sacrifice himself, something remarkable happens. One after another, the men around him rise and declare, "I'm Spartacus." Although the scene structure was planned, the emotion behind it was deeply organic. Each actor understood the significance of the moment and delivered their line with personal intensity. Subtle variations in tone and expression created a powerful sense of collective solidarity. This moment wasn't just dramatic, it was deeply symbolic. Released during the era of the Hollywood blacklist, the film's screenwriter Dalton Trumbo had himself been blacklisted for refusing to testify before Congress. The scene became a quiet but profound act of resistance. Audiences didn't merely witness characters standing together. They saw a message of courage, integrity, and opposition to injustice. The line became one of the most quoted in film history and remains culturally significant decades later. At times, television transcends storytelling and becomes something profoundly real. that happened in Glee during its tribute episode for Corey Monteith. What was meant to be part of the show transformed into a heartfelt memorial that blurred the line between fiction and reality. Monteith, who portrayed Finn Hudson, was a cornerstone of the series and deeply loved by the cast. Following his sudden death, the creators faced a sensitive challenge, honoring both the character and the man with sincerity. The resulting episode was unlike anything the show had produced before. Instead of relying on scripted drama, it embraced simplicity and emotional honesty. Performances were filled with real grief, and tears were not acted. Lea Michele, Monteith's partner both on and off screen, delivered an especially moving performance. Her trembling voice and visible emotion made every moment feel raw and sincere. The episode avoided structured storytelling, allowing the shared emotion to take center stage. The experience felt less like television and more like collective mourning. Its power came from its vulnerability, offering both the cast and viewers a chance to grieve together. It served as a reminder that behind every character is a real person and real love. Unplanned moments can also redefine villains. In The Godfather, one of cinema's most recognizable images came from pure spontaneity. In the opening office scene, Don Vito Corleone calmly pets a cat while listening to a plea for justice. The contrast between the animal's gentleness and his quiet authority created a striking balance of warmth and menace. The cat was never part of the script. Director Francis Ford Coppola later explained it was a stray wandering the studio lot. Marlon Brando noticed it just before filming and instinctively brought it into the scene. The cat wasn't trained and required no preparation. It simply settled into Brando's lap and began to purr. That small, unscripted detail added depth to the character, without a single added line of dialogue. Brando's restrained performance became even more haunting with the presence of the cat, adding softness to a man capable of ruthless decisions. The image became iconic and helped define the film's tone. Ironically, the cat's loud purring interfered with the audio, forcing parts of Brando's dialogue to be re-recorded later. Despite this, the moment remained, proving how spontaneity can create cinematic magic. Some stunts redefine realism. In The Spy Who Loved Me, one sequence stunned audiences through sheer authenticity. The film opens with a dramatic ski chase across icy mountains. As James Bond reaches the edge of a towering cliff, he launches himself into open air, falling in silence before deploying a parachute decorated with the Union Jack. The stunt wasn't a visual trick. It was performed for real by legendary stuntman Rick Sylvester. At the time, no one had attempted a ski-based jump of that kind. The production team waited weeks for ideal conditions, knowing they had only one chance. There were no wires or visual effects, just skis, a massive drop, and a